Talking about what you can see now,
Yeah.
we have gaps in between the total capital components of which is 1.5 trillion naira,
Yeah.
and the cash released is 404 billion naira, and the cash backing given to this release is 324 billion naira, and the actual cash utilized now is 184 billion naira. Why do we have these discrepancies?
Now, you see, what usually happens is that is the inflow of cash. Yes, we have agreed we're going to spend this, but the inflow, the cash they're not there. It's based on what is to be generated. So if the cash is not there, you can't spend what you don't have, and then that's why governments go borrowing to make up the difference, the shortfall in cash. Okay. Now, but again, some ministries are diverting some of this monies to other things that, who knows what. You know, you say you're doing this, and even I heard of some that consulted consultants, you know, to package their proposal, their budget proposal, so that, you know, it will be acceptable and all that. It's true life, you know.
Well,
and then they, you know, just to make it look good, but the money is diverted to something else.
Well, that's not too good a story. You know, when we talk about figures, it's always good. You have something represented somehow.
Yeah.
Well, the information slide there, my producers, maybe perhaps they put it up again for people to get all of that. When you talk about figures, sometimes you need to see them. Yeah, thank you very much. So that you can actually know what exactly is happening. If you look at it now from the federal capital vote for this year, 1.51 trillion naira, and the fund so far released is 404 billion naira, and you look at the cash backed, 324 billion, and utilized is just 56%. Now, this is what the executive arm of government is saying, but
Yes.
again, we have a different figure from the House of Representatives as well as the Senate.
Yeah.
Even the Senate scored them lower than the House of Representatives, as
Yeah.
is moving to say they will impeach if by September
Yeah.
they're getting anything fantastic. But this comment from the Senate Majority Leader he represented David Mark yesterday at that particular session. I'll give you a quote what he said. He said, "We will not accept responsibility for the failure of others." And he went further to say, we are willing to take whipping from Nigerians, but we won't be scapegoat for anybody.
Yeah.
These two statements, you're a communicator expert as well. Is it possible that there are things that we do not know, that they are privileged to have seen, to the extent that they're saying, look, if you have failed, don't put the blame on us?
Yeah. Again, you should understand how Nigerians feel about the National Assembly. First of all, that they're feeding fat on the taxpayers' money, but they're not delivering what they're supposed to. It's about image here, and they need to show that they're doing their job, so that they can justify their pay. And then because if anything happens now, Nigerians will say, okay, National Assembly, because of their budget, and they don't want the Sanusi incident to happen again. That where they took the blame for consuming 25% of the national budget. And again, it's a good thing that they're doing to make sure that their oversight functions are performed. But they should look more on the ministries to make sure that these things are done. They have oversight functions to make sure that the different committees that handle different parastatals, they should make sure that these things are done. Not just, they should not stop at calling the finance minister to explain what is going on. They should go to these ministries to make sure that these things are done. Going just a little 2 levels below the finance minister to make sure these things are done.
Now, the Minister of Finance yesterday appealed to the Assembly that they should wait till December, that the 100% implementation might not be ready by September. Do you think it's feasible? Do you think December is feasible?
Again, it depends on several factors. One, the availability of funds. The issue of Nigeria being broke or not. Like Jonathan told them at the meeting that they have some slow inflow of cash. So it's as money comes in that they will execute this project. They will release these monies to these people to do project. And when you're doing construction project, you have timelines where money should be released and where money should not be released. And again, that brings me to the issue of budget as a whole. For a poor country like Nigeria, a developing nation like Nigeria, the budget system, is it the appropriate one for us to use? I know that I have a different opinion about the way, because it's fraught with corruption. Okay? This annual budget is not for a developing nation like Nigeria.
So are we thinking of a 4-year budget plan or 3 years?
Yes.
Because in any case, sorry to butt in there, sometimes we get to carry them over. And remember during the Yar'Adua administration, you had to come back and refund.
Even now, this year's budget, last year's budget, ran up to March. They started this year's budget from April. Now, what I'm saying in effect is this. Like I mentioned my plan even when I contested the 2011 governorship election of Ebonyi State. I had a plan. I said, look, 4-year term, I have a 5-year budget. All this yearly budget is not good for a developing nation. If you want to govern, provide good leadership and governance to the people, you have, okay, these are the things I want to do this year. These are the things that first day in office, you come. So that you have 4 years, 5 years. 5 years in the sense that you have this thing for another person coming in or something like that. So that people will know, we judge you by the things that you say you will do at the time you're supposed to do it. So every year you just make some amendment, supplementary budget, and all that, so that corruption will be reduced.
Would it be out
if
of
we
place?
Continue this way, it's our own best interest. The yearly budget is for developed economy.
Let's try to put a reason to all of this now. If we can just pick one, can we put it on the back of insecurity in some parts of the country?
Everybody, insecurity in the sense that people, even politicians, are not even sure what will happen tomorrow. People want to get whatever they can get. And then leaving the nation, nobody is committed to the heart level about this continuous existence of Nigerian nation. So you find that everything that is done is short-term. Short-term thinking is not good for development. You need a long-term strategic thinking so that you know, okay, you see the end from the beginning. You see a picture of what you are, what you want to accomplish. Right now, nobody. It's just short-term thinking.
This 4-year plan
Yes.
that you are recommending, is this your own answer to the question that, it wasn't a question, to the question though, the Minister of Finance, raised yesterday when she said that there has to be changes in the way our current capital budget implementation is done. Are you saying that we should approach it, every 4 years? We should plan for every 4 years, and is that the only way we can curb the problem?
Yeah, that's one of the ways, but the major way of curbing the budget issue and corruption.
What other ways do you think?
One is that people being sincere in the actual implementation. They feel that budget is just one of those things, and they should be held accountable. If you did not do what you're supposed, even as it happens in companies, if a department in a company does not accomplish what they're supposed to do, then the manager of that department should be sanctioned. But nobody has ever resigned for non-implementation of the budget. So we need to begin to say, okay, look, you have a plan. People will judge you by what you have said. This I will do, this I will do, this I will, as far as quarterly, and capital projects are long-term. And they run. And sometimes these budgets, the whole cost of a capital project that will take 4 years is being put in a 1-year budget.
Yeah,